If you look only at women, Threesome is number 3. It's much higher for women. Even the most religious people out there are engaging in some type of pornography. And they might whip themselves with a belt afterward or whatever to punish themselves and free themselves from sin, but they're doing it. The older the visitor is, the longer they spend on the site.
They get more sucked into the story. They gotta see how the plot finishes.
Women are looking at Pornhub more than ever before. More than 30% of all Pornhub traffic is from women. The dirty 30, as I like to call them.
Oh, babe.
If you guess it, I will write you a check for $10,000 right now. Number 1 in Oklahoma is sex dick.
Sex dick? What?
But on the complete flip side, in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, God bless America, the number 1 search term there, big ass cop.
Arrest me, please.
During the Super Bowl last year, the number 1 search was naked football.
Naked football.
And wait, the one right after that is football team gangbang.
Oh my God.
Buster, true or false? You have a tab open on your computer right this very second with Pornhub open and ready to go. True or false?
False.
No, hang on. Check the calendar. Today's not opposite day. Give us the real answer.
The answer is false. I'm a good steward of my tabs, and I typically only have 1 or 2 tabs open. And this finished recording is the only tab open on my internet. So
now we're getting to the conversation of your tab efficiency on your computer. This is so... You know, I want to change today's topic. Instead of talking about the topic I brought, can we just hear more about your tab efficiency?
It spans more than just my tabs. It's more of a mental load, a cognitive attention span thing that I've worked on. So
I'm glad you could be here with me today, Dr. Buster, to revisit a topic that we actually covered in one of our most download episodes ever. Not you and I, but my original sidekick host, Brandon Coffman, back on episode number 107. Do you know what that episode was, Buster?
I don't, but by your guess and the lead-in, I'm gonna guess it has to deal with pornography.
Back on episode 107, me and Brandon covered the top 10 most common, the top 10 Pornhub searches of 2019. Today, you're doing the updated version for 2023. You're gonna guess the things that people search for most on Pornhub in the calendar year 2023.
The people who are mentally sound, they're well-adjusted, they're emotionally intelligent. Yeah, the things that those folks are searching on the internet.
The beautiful thing about porn, all walks of life, right? You got lawyers, you got homeless people, you got kings, you got queens, you got dukes, you got doctors, you got fast food cashiers, all of them.
All end up getting bent over a kitchen table.
Or they get their head stuck in a dryer and their stepson comes up behind them and fucks them, right? So, Buster, this year in review report is provided every year by Pornhub's Insights team. They have an entire team dedicated to this. And look, I'll share a link in the show notes if anyone wants to go check out this report. It's incredibly in-depth. It's like the most in-depth kind of report you'll see from any website. It's incredible.
It gets pretty deep.
They give so much insight, and they're completely unashamed. Like, they will go into as much detail as you're willing to get to. Anyway.
Now, how professional and PG do you think the corporate office is for Pornhub?
I always am fascinated by the corporate environment of Pornhub because they are a billion-dollar company. They're the largest porn company in the world.
I have to imagine it's pretty normal. Like, there's nothing inappropriate up on the wall. They've got just a kind of your standard boilerplate sexual harassment policy. HR department's not unusual.
I would guess, and I'm just completely guessing, I have no knowledge at all, but I would guess that they are actually ultra proactive in like sexual harassment type policies because they know that they're under a microscope, perhaps in that regard, more than other corporations. And I would guess that they have a good sense of humor around the office to what they do. But that said, they're still very professional and they have a board to answer to. They have revenue goals to hit. Like, it's just another corporation. And much of their revenue, again, has to do with stepmoms getting stuck in a dryer.
Do you think there are more or less office romances and hanky-panky going on behind the scenes between the employees?
I'm sure everyone listening would like to think like, oh, it must be rampant there. But I bet it's no different than any corporation. I really do. But I could be wrong. I don't know. This is the 10th year they've done this report. And in each report, Pornhub's statisticians sift through data from billions of visits to see what content define the tastes of the year. Those who follow our insights know that the top searches are often influenced by pop culture and other worldwide events. There's a hint for you. The data is for worldwide traffic on Pornhub in the full calendar year 2023. I also pulled some stats from SEMrush and Wikipedia.
Oh, interesting. Can you pass the gravy at Thanksgiving?
I'll pass you the gravy, stepmom.
Yeah.
It always comes down to the stepmom, doesn't it? I'm sick of it. Buster, tell me, what is porn? What is pornography?
Well, as I had a professor in my doctorate say, that executive functions, which is a process in psychology, is much like pornography. It's hard to define, but you know it when you see it.
When you see it. You know what? I guess that's fucking true.
It's multimedia. It's photo or videos that include adults having some type of sex with one another.
Yeah, you think there's photo and video. There must be audio too. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, but like blind people like might listen to like podcasts or audio of people fucking.
That sounds like one of my worst nightmares.
No, but I like the idea of not the moaning and the groaning and the dirty talk. I like it more of just the the suction and the the slipperiness and
that is like a sixth circle of hell for me. Imagining listening to that.
Buster. Well, our friends at Wikipedia,
Wikipedia, is that a real website?
No. I mean, maybe. I can't rule it out, but Wikipedia says that pornography is the portrayal of sexual subject matter for the exclusive purpose of sexual arousal.
Okay. So it doesn't even have to feature anybody having sex. You could watch like boxes being unpacked, and if you were sexually excited about that, like if someone was breaking down cardboard boxes, technically that could be porn.
Cardboard boxes, or maybe they're rubbing themselves head to toe in peanut butter. Believe me, we're going to talk about all kinds of weird shit. But let me tell you about the societal acceptance of pornography, at least in the United States. Social attitudes towards the discussion and presentation of sexuality have become more tolerant in Western countries, and legal definitions of obscenity have become more limited, beginning in 1969 with Blue Movie by Andy Warhol, listener of the show, the first adult erotic film depicting explicit sexual intercourse to receive wide theatrical release in the United States. So I want you to remember, pornography used to be illegal in the United States until, I don't know, at least the 60s. So if you were caught making a pornography, you could get up to 10 years in prison under pimping. And then I want you to remember that in 1969, with the first film depicting explicit sexual intercourse, there's no computers, there's no internet, there's no smartphones, there's no iPads. You had to go to the movie theater with a bunch of other movie theater goers to watch this porn. I mean, Buster, what's the main point of porn? What's the main point of porn?
Yeah, you weren't allowed to please yourself in the movie theater.
But they found a way, I'm sure they did. That was 1969, but it was followed by the golden age of porn, which is defined as 1969 to 1984, in which the best quality pornographic films became part of mainstream culture. So it's around like late 60s through the 80s when porn stopped becoming this illegal underground thing. And, you know, porn's always, even today, it has this, like, there's always going to be some stigma attached to it, but it's very much accepted that porn is just a part of everyday life and culture in the world.
Yeah, if you're going to hell, it is.
Yeah, if you're going to hell, yeah. Let's just call it what it is, which is that even the men of the cloth, even the most religious people out there are engaging in some type of pornography. And they might whip themselves with a belt afterward or whatever to punish themselves and free themselves from sin, but they're doing it. Sorry.
Perhaps more so and at greater rates and with greater intensity than people who might talk about it openly. I mean, we can see that widespread systemic suppression of sexual urges is not working out well for the Catholic Church. I've said it.
Porn is a $100 billion global industry. And you got to remember, like back in the day, and a little bit still today, but not as much today, but especially back in the day, porn was, they generated revenue by sales. You bought the porno mag, you bought the porno tape, you went to the movie theater and saw the porno film. Now, most of revenue from porn is from ads on the internet. And even more interesting to me than the corporate culture of, say, a Pornhub is the fucking companies that buy these ads on porn websites. And there's some graphic designer out there making these ads for, I don't know, it's just it's something else. probably doesn't surprise you to learn that pornographic film production commenced almost immediately after the invention of the motion picture in 1895.
It was the first thing they shot, I'm sure. It took them about 6 seconds to think about filming them fucking each other.
All right, well, I'm ready to turn you loose. Throughout this episode, I have a bunch more fun facts about the porn industry and Pornhub in particular, but I'll get to those as we go.
You know, to build on my previous point, as with any piece of technology, as soon as anything was AI generated, guess what they started making? As soon as people could make cartoons, guess what they were making cartoons of? It's just,
yep.
Humans can't help themselves.
Human nature always returns to sex. Before you guess, what do you think is a safe bet to not be in the top 10 or top 15? What are people not searching probably on porn sites?
People are not searching Sheryl Crow porn.
I strongly disagree.
People are not
it's
searching
not in the top 15.
Joe Biden porn.
People are not searching
deep fakes of Joe Biden having sex.
A respectful woman, accomplished businesswoman.
Well, yes, well-educated woman who inspires me and teaches me a lot about myself is probably not on the top 15.
Well, they might teach you about yourself, but yeah, I get what you mean. Do you think the word hairy is often seen in Pornhub searches?
No, but I think it probably used to be. I've read somewhere anecdotally or listened to it on a podcast that like trends for body hair have kind of been shaped by porn trends and they kind of feed off of each other. So if they think that they want people to be hairier, then that will be reflected in porn films or vice versa. Like if you were to watch a porn film from 1970, nobody's shaving anything, period. But now it's pretty standard, although I'd say compared to 10 years ago.
And what are you basing that off of, that trend today versus 10 years ago?
From
your own personal consumption?
From what I've heard, yeah.
Okay. Do you think
another
the word
podcast or book or something?
Yeah. Do you think the word ears appears in any Pornhub searches?
Maybe not in America, but I think there are some countries in which people might be interested in. There's a fetish for tugging on the nostrils. I've seen some videos. Wigs me out.
Why have you seen these videos, Buster?
As I'm waiting for my family to get ready to go to church each Sunday morning, I just need something to fill my time.
Yeah,
that's why I sit down and just take a peek at,
Watch nose tug porn. Sure.
Yes.
Hey, and I feel like we should say, actually, this is a good spot to say this. Throughout this episode, we're going to be talking about the wildest shit you can think of, and we're going to be making fun of a lot of it. That's not to say every person out there is not entitled to be into whatever kink you're into, as long as everyone's consented and it's safe. So if we make fun of your particular kink, help me out here, Buster.
You're in good company because every person can admit they're into something that they wouldn't tell everybody about.
Yeah, we're going to make fun of everybody and everything today. Yeah.
We're all into something that we wouldn't tell our friends and family about. We just are.
So if you're into nose tug porn, that's totally fine, but it doesn't mean you are immune.
No one's going to be spared on this episode. We're making fun of everyone.
Well, my last one to ask you about that's probably not in the top 10 is the word insects. Do you think anybody's searching for insect porn?
No, but I bet they are searching for incest, which is unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Is that on the top 15?
No.
That's kind of surprising to me.
Let me give you a hint on the top 15. With 2 exceptions, 13 out of the top 15 are one word.
Now, in honor of the late Brandon, I appreciated his impersonation of people who were searching on Pornhub. Had like a caveman grunt. Say like,
is that not so spot on too?
If you saw people searching porn, it's like the greatest snapshot into our lizard brain. We just revert back to caveman.
It's true. It's like there's a big overlap between the way men sound on a porn website in the comment section, as well as how they sound when they're ordering at a drive-thru. Number one.
Yeah, you're back to your instincts. There's no higher order cognitive functioning happening. You are fulfilling basic needs.
Your basic needs. Yeah, your basic needs and desires.
How fast can we get there? How quickly?
Exactly. This is a race against time, and that's a great point because I have some notes on time. The average time per visit on Pornhub. Remember that Pornhub is the #1 porn website in the world. It has more porn traffic than any other site. In fact, Pornhub is the 14th most visited website of any website in the world, not just porn, any website, and number 6 in the United States. It is the 6th most visited website in the United States. The only thing that beats it are websites like Google and Facebook and, It's insane. Anyway,
Crazy.
and in the United States alone, there are about 3 to 4 billion visits per month on average to Pornhub.
Jeez.
So,
Crazy.
Buster, what would you guess is the average time spent per visit on Pornhub worldwide?
7 minutes.
Not too far off. The average time per visit is 10 minutes and 9 seconds. But what's interesting, and this goes against what I would have guessed, the older the visitor is, the longer they spend on the site.
They get more sucked into the story. They got to see how the plot finishes.
So they're done, but they continue watching the video just to see.
Yeah, and they're like getting emotional because they really connect with the story.
For example, if you're age 18 to 24, your visit is about 9 minutes. And if you're over age 65, and your visit is over 11 minutes. So you are watching that story unfold for 11 minutes versus 9.
Or it's taking you longer to get into it. You're like, nah, this isn't my thing. Or no. They get lost in the setup and they kind of forget that they went there to masturbate, and they're just like, oh damn, she's a strong, independent woman. Look at her go. Oh, I'm supposed to be masturbating.
I don't think that happens often, but perhaps.
But I bet it happens.
All right. Let's give a guess. Top 15 most searched for searches on Pornhub worldwide in 2023.
One word. Yeah.
So you got to be very broad here. The highest of levels.
Okay, so feet is probably not going to be there.
You're in the right headspace, but feet is not on here.
Well, I remember adjectives were big on the previous list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go for number 1, but let's just go for, quote, sex.
Sexy, no. And I will give a hint to anyone that has recently listened to episode 107, where we did the 2019 version of this list. There is a lot of the same terms returning here this year. There's some new ones as well.
I've not listened to that since the original airing.
And I've not listened to you willingly in about 20 years.
Yeah, you've never heard me guess the list very well either, and that's replicating today.
100%.
All right, show me butt or ass. Are those both on the list?
Big ass.
Okay, so that's
is what we're looking for.
That's one of the 2 words.
One of 2-word things. Where do you think big ass?
Number 3.
It's way down to number 9, bub.
Wow. Sir Mix-a-Lot would be shaking his head. This is not the generation he was talking about. It's not the culture he wants to be a part of.
That you sign on to Pornhub, your 11 minutes have started ticking down, and you go to the search bar and you think, what do I want to watch today to stroke myself to?
You know, because it knows what they're going to type in.
But I also love the titles of these videos.
Oh, they're so
like they know what these searchers are after.
So
they just put big ass in the title.
Big ass gets it.
It's so
so dumb.
Fascinating, isn't it? Just the porn culture.
It's a little discouraging, I'll say.
Big ass is number 9. And in France, this is also near the top of the list, but instead they search for gros cul. I don't have a good accent.
So the French are into the ass. Okay.
Big ass, again, this is number 9 worldwide. But you have to remember, in all these different languages, they're putting their language for big ass. So even in China, or you know what, Pornhub's probably banned in China. So let's say even in Japan.
Yep.
They got
South
their
Korea,
words for big ass.
India,
they're putting their little symbols
Egypt,
in there.
South Africa, Colombia. Everyone's like, show me big ass.
Buster, what's your favorite big ass video on Pornhub?
Too many to count.
Okay.
That's like asking a person what's the favorite meal they've ever eaten or their favorite dessert. There's too many good ones out there.
I'm double checking. I believe there's only one other body part in the top 15.
Okay, is it one word? Tits.
No. Great guess. Tits is not in on the list. This is actually a verb.
You just said body part.
Yeah. Well, it's like describing what you do to a body part.
Okay, it's a verb and it's a body part. I am so confused. I need to go back to middle school English.
What's another way to talk about a big ass?
Well, I'm trying to think of how it would be a verb.
Well, it's like a verb and an adjective and a noun.
Jesus Christ.
Shit. The word shit and fuck are those things too, right? It's like that.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Dick?
No, just think about all the Pornhub searches you did this morning. And what did you probably type in?
I'm struggling here.
It's a type of sex. It's a type of intercourse.
Anal?
Anal! Ding, 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 ding,
but
ding, ding,
anal's
ding,
not
ding.
the body part.
Well,
it's the anus.
That's why I hesitated, because you're right. Anal's not the body part, but that's why I started describing.
Can we get a different?
Am I on here with my fucking English
here?
teacher? Jesus Christ! We're talking about what people
No,
search on
I just would
Pornhub.
love to be in here recording an episode with a person who gives out good hints. Is all I'm asking. So where's anal?
You tell me where anal is. Big ass was 9.
Well, it's in between those big old buttery cheeks. So I'm gonna guess anal is at 7.
Ooh, very close. It's number 6. You know what's not on here but should be is booty clap. Buster, think of how much money you could make on Pornhub with the booty clap videos.
Sure.
Buster, what are your thoughts on anal? You pro anal?
It just tends to always kind of come from behind. You don't really see it coming.
I don't know where to go with that. So I'm gonna tell you. Where's this?
Are you gonna backtrack a little bit? You're gonna back up from that one?
In the 2023, the average visitor to Pornhub is 37 years old. Buster, we're getting old. It's not that long before we're 37.
What percentage of videos do you think are completed without any skipping forward? I would guess that's close to 0.
I'd guess that as well.
Wonder if they have those stats.
It wasn't that long ago. Maybe even 10 years ago, especially 20 years ago. Almost all traffic to porn sites would have been from a desktop or laptop computer, right? What percentage of porn traffic today do you think comes from mobile phones?
90.
91% of traffic to Pornhub is on a phone. So people don't need the big screen anymore, huh?
It's too risky. All the viruses, then you've got your Zoom tab, snafus.
That happened to me. I think I've told you that. My first job out of college, we were on a group Zoom call. I think it was Skype, actually, but whatever. And it was like, I don't know, 40 people from around the company on it. And one of the highest up people in the company, like he's a VP, he was screen sharing for like 30 minutes. He had, I don't know, 30 tabs open on his browser that he was screen sharing, and one of them was Pornhub, I swear to God. And nobody said anything. He did the whole 30-minute presentation with the Pornhub tab sitting right there.
It's wild.
He was at work. He wasn't working from home, by the way. He was at an office.
We have a mutual friend who used to do IT for an oil company, and a good portion of IT's job is reminding people to stop looking at porn while they're at work, because they can see everybody's screen. And these are work computers tied into the work Wi-Fi.
At work, too. These were not work from home.
In the there's a physical office building complex. And they would constantly be sending emails to people telling them, please stop looking at porn while you're at work.
And I like how it's so common and so frequent for that IT team that nobody even gets in trouble for it. Like, nobody's getting fired for it. They're just reminded, please stop. It is wild. But I'm sure people listening to my voice right now are doing the same. Looking at Pornhub while they listen on their work computer.
They don't need to be going to Pornhub if they're already listening to your voice, right? They've already got their source material.
Yeah. Now, 91% of traffic to Pornhub comes from mobile phones, but a good chunk of the other 9% comes from video game consoles. Buster, what would you guess is the video game console with the most Pornhub traffic? The PS4 has 42% of all video game console traffic to Pornhub.
Wow.
I guess these are people that just want the big screen, huh? Their big 70-inch TV? Okay, give me a guess. Top 15.
Spank.
No, you sicko.
I know Milf is in there because that was on the previous one. That's timeless.
Milf is on here.
Where's that?
You tell me.
4.
Number 2, Buster.
2.
You need to talk to that Milf in your life and let her know that she is the number 2 most searched Pornhub term in the world.
Nick, what does Milf stand for?
Moose, I'd like to make friends with.
Friend request.
It's a mother I'd like to fuck. And it's number 2. This term is consistently ranked highly. It is usually within the top 5. And it is the number 1 search term in the United Kingdom, in Germany, and Canada. So Brad Chum was up there in Canada searching MILF. What's your thoughts on MILF, Buster? Is there an age cutoff for you?
Yes, but it's so hard to pin down. It varies by person to person. I mean, think about us. As you get older, when people are in their 30s, they're experiencing such a different range of life, like health and how well-aged you feel, how well-aged you look at 30. You know, the objective number itself isn't enough information.
I'll agree with that. Speaking of information, Buster, did you know that the United States is the number 1 country in the world for Pornhub traffic, followed by, tell me, guess, who loves porn almost as much as the United States?
Spain?
Philippines, France, Mexico, and the United Kingdom. Why is the Philippines funny, you asshole?
I don't know, just something funny. Something funny about that.
Pornapines. Philipporns. More like it.
I'm from California. We love to spend time on the water and search MILF and big booty bitches on our Pornhub mobile device.
Big booty bitches. I got big booty bitches, big booty bitches.
Can we do Google Translate for big ass?
All right, what do you think is the other 2-word search in the top 15? There's only one more. We've already talked about it in passing.
Does it start with big
No. You know, some people might think it's one word, but it is separated out on my list. It is describing a person in your family.
Oh, stepmom.
Stepmom is number
10.
10. You nailed it exactly. Wow. Nice
Knew
job.
it.
Buster, I'm not going to come down on anybody that likes to search for stepmom
I hope you don't
on
come down
Pornhub.
on it right now. We're recording an episode.
Oh, baby. There has to be some sort of societal, like, psychological commentary for why the world is so into the idea of fucking their stepmom. Like, where do you think, like, you're a psychologist, Buster. What do you think that comes from?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, sure.
I think
I've not
part
seen
of
any
it-
degrees, but I've been told, yes.
For whatever reason, many people are interested in sexual things that are taboo to start. If it's dirty, if it's naughty, if it's something that they shouldn't be attracted to. I mean, how many people are into someone romantically or sexually because they know some part of that person is not functional for them? Like they're kind of into, you know, like the bad boy or the girl who's a train wreck that they know they shouldn't be dating, but they're super into them. I think part of that's the stepmom issue or the stepmom interest. For many folks is at baseline, it's something they know they shouldn't be enjoying, and it's kind of naughty, and that's scintillating for a lot of people.
Sure, but why is stepmom's the only, like, family-esque thing in the top 15, right? I guess
Well,
Milf,
it's not actual incest because she's only related to you by marriage. So
but still, your dad's...
It's one step away from being a Lannister.
Your dad's dick has been in her, or your other mom's dildo. I mean, whatever you want to say. Like, your other parents been sexually active with that person. To me, that's a no-go.
Right.
That's just me.
That's a precursor to being 0% interested.
For many people that like stepmom porn or seek it out, it's like, I wouldn't ever actually do this. This is just my fantasy, right?
The human experience is so vast and complex.
Whatever. To each their own, like we said. It's not for me.
I think maybe there's something to what people are willing to search on the internet and privately disclose to themselves, but they wouldn't ever actually act that out. You know what I mean?
That's what I was saying. Like, this is a fantasy that if they were the person that they're watching in the video and their actual stepmom came on to them, even if they wanted to, even if they fantasized about it for years, they probably wouldn't act in the moment, right? It'd be too weird. Some would, I'm sure. But most, I think, even those that think they want it, when it came right down to it, I think it would be too weird and they'd start thinking about the family effects. Like,
well, I think about the same thing with massage. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are into porn videos that start out as a massage and then things get inappropriate and they start having sex on the massage table. But if people were at an actual massage and something started happening, they probably would get the hell out of there and they would be pretty upset.
Yeah. And sure, some people would act on it, but I think most people are kind of all talk a little bit when it comes to, or not that, you know what I mean? Like, their willingness to watch it versus act on it is not aligned. And speaking of massage, you say, interesting word.
Is massage? I didn't know if massage would crack to 15. I thought that may be a little too tame for people.
It starts tame, Buster, and it gets dirty quick.
That's the point. I guess that's true. Get Deshaun Watson in here. He can tell us all about it. And Robert Kraft.
Oh my God, listen to you. Massage is number
7.
14, idiot. Did you know some trending searches that are not in the top 15, but they're on the rise? GILF is up 168%.
Okay. Well, wow, it almost doubled. I guess with the longer lifespan and people staying vital longer.
And can you clarify for our late listeners what the GILF stands for?
Grandma, I'd like to friend request on Facebook.
Oh, grandma. Yeah. I thought it was Gandhi. I'd like to friend request.
Sure.
I thought it was Gandhi-specific porn.
Hi, everyone. Stephen Clark here to say that I think we can all agree that the news these days is almost all bad. Wars and scandals and insurrections and those goddamn expensive Taylor Swift tickets. But I'm here to tell you that not all news is bad, because my #1 news source is the Tennis Podcast newsletter. It's a free monthly newsletter delivered right to my inbox that helps me stay up to date on the latest world news, like a first look at the upcoming Tennis Podcast episodes. Newsletter subscribers like me know the topics for a month's worth of upcoming episodes way in advance. And that means that I knew the topic of the episodes you're listening to right now like a month ago. It's like I'm a time traveler. Plus, as a newsletter subscriber, I get to consume Dr. Buster's Dr. Buster's exclusive blog, The Sidekick Corner. It's the next best thing to grabbing a handful of dap booty. If that's not enough, the newsletter also features behind-the-scenes updates from Nick, merch discount codes, and more. You just go to tennishpod.com/newsletter, enter your email address, and you're in. You'll get the next Tennish Podcast newsletter in your inbox just like that. The link is in the show notes. Now, turn off that boring Fox News and come join me in getting the only news source you truly need, the Tennish Podcast newsletter.
All the guesses you've been going through are the top 15 worldwide. Any visitor, any country, just total worldwide traffic. But if you were to narrow this down and look at only people that are age 65 or older, what do you think the number one search term is for those people? You'll never guess it. Just heads up.
I don't even know.
If you guess it, I will write you a check for $10,000 right now.
Job interview. I don't know.
Smoking, as in, that bitch is smoking hot.
She's smoking hot.
Smoking hot MILF, smoking hot stepmom, smoking hot ass. That's what these people are searching. Smoking.
If they only type in smoking, then they're going to get like two people who are smoking at a cigar bar and then decide to go fuck in the bathroom.
Sure. But smoking is paired with any word, Buster. Smoking is the common denominator. Now, these are the baby boomers we're talking about. What do you think the number 2 search term is? This one you could guess. I'll say it's highly hypocritical of what you think of the typical boomer being for or against. Baby boomers hate what? They hate people sharing bathrooms. They hate people that are transgender. Transgender is the number 2 search term for people age 65 and older. What do you think that says about our baby boomer friends and listeners?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, how often have like Congress
Speaking
people
of taboo,
been so against gay marriage or the LGBTQ plus community having rights, and then turns out they get caught in a hotel room not being straight themselves, and it just leads you to scratch your head sometimes.
If you hear or see a person that is vehemently against something, such as gay marriage, transgender, could be a million things. If you hear someone that's against those things,
against the Tennish Podcast, they probably actually really like it.
Yeah, your antenna should go up, pun intended, because there's something there. And last one of this, the third term for ages 65 and up is hand job.
So
they don't want to get too nasty.
What was the first, second, third?
It was smoking, transgender,
right.
hand job.
I think we should type in smoking, transgender, hand job and see where the internet takes us.
It's literally a transgender getting a hand job, and the dick is like smoking, like there's smoke coming out of it because the smoking, hand job, and trans are not in the top 15. But what do you think it is?
So the rest are one word. Is it mainly verbs from this point on?
Adjectives.
Busty.
No, surprisingly, there's nothing tit related on here. Surprising, right?
See, I think that's probably a different trend from the early 2000s, I would guess.
I'll bet you're right, yeah. What's something that's, you mentioned taboo with stepmom. So it has nothing to do with family or anything like that, but what's something else that some people might consider taboo? Others wouldn't, but some would.
A lot of things come to mind, I guess, but...
When there's more than 2 people in the video, that might be considered a good guess, but
Threesome.
What are the words? Threesome, yes. Threesome is number 12.
12.
But what's interesting about threesome is if you look at traffic on Pornhub specifically from women, because everything we've done is men and women. If you look only at women, threesome is number 3. So it's much higher for women than men.
Interesting. Now, I wonder if those ladies are after male, female, male, or female, male, female. Do they want 2 ladies in the mix or 2 men?
That's a great question. And Buster, I just don't know. Since we're talking about women, what do you think, and this is also in the top 15, but what do you think the number 1 search term for women specifically is?
That we've not guessed yet.
You haven't even said this word yet.
It's probably not something obvious, is it?
I don't know. You could say that. This is also number 1 for the United States as a whole. So it's a very popular term.
Shit.
It's a term that I'll bet a lot of baby boomer Republicans would vehemently deny that they look for, but they do.
Lesbian?
Lesbian.
Okay.
Lesbian is the number 1 search term for women and the number 1 search term for the United States. And on the overall worldwide list, it's number 3. You're surprised by that?
Well, I just was suddenly curious at like what percentage of Pornhub users who were ladies were gay versus straight.
I know that women are looking at Pornhub more than ever before. More than 30% of all Pornhub traffic is from women. It used to be like single digits.
Sure. Right. Used to be close to 0 here. Yeah, now it's 30. Wow, that's not too far from 50.
The Dirty 30, as I like to call them.
Oh, hey.
Buster, let me tell you this. Where did we grow up? What state?
Oklahoma.
And in the state of Oklahoma, the number one search term, I have no explanation.
Pickup truck.
There's more Trump porn than there is Biden porn. Guarantee it. Number one in Oklahoma is sex dick.
Sex dick? What?
I don't understand.
Things
I
are
double-checked it.
Things are worse in Oklahoma than I even gave it credit for being. My God.
Imagine Oklahoman with 4 teeth, and in between their tobacco spits. I think I want some sex dick today on my Pornhub. How is the computer going to know what I want to see if I don't tell them that the dick is having sex with the vagina?
Yeah, my honey sweetums ran to get some grocery from Walmart, and I instantly pulled out my phone. I think I had a few minutes left on it, and I typed sex dick in the Google, and that got me exactly what I needed.
But on the complete flip side, in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, God bless America, the number one search term there, and it's so specific, it's funny, big ass cop.
I love these regional top terms. These are great.
Big ass cop.
Big ass cop. Dude, I want to arrest me, please. Pull me over, baby.
This cop with a big ass arrests you, and you say, "Now, officer, before you take me into the station, I just want to let you know, is there anything I can do to get out of this?
Please. I know you want to take me in tonight, but I got other plans.
I'm going to
throw
take
me in the
myself
back cage of that cop car.
Your big ass."
Yeah.
It's just wild, right?
You can handcuff me right
in DC,
right next to that big ass.
They're so after the big ass cops. It's interesting.
Yeah, big ass cop versus sex dick.
Sex dick. What other content, as opposed to lawyer dick or jump
or
dick.
Just sex? I don't
Food
know.
Dick.
God.
Yeah,
sex dick.
Well, you all.
That's number
it's like
one.
It's redundant, and Pornhub, it's already sex, all of it. You don't have to search sex again.
That's like going into a restaurant and the server walks over and is like, "Oh, what will you be having tonight?" I think we're gonna eat. I think we'd like some food. Would that be okay?
Some food dick, Buster.
I'd like to eat food. Can we get that? No.
Remember, this is Oklahoma. I mean, you know.
I mean, to type anything.
The graduation rates.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's number one.
You don't embrace your fellow Oklahomans' number one search term?
That means so many people in the same part of the country are typing sex dick into a website.
Here's what happens. Seriously.
That's the craziest thing so far today.
Oklahomans search sex dick enough that now if you're located in Oklahoma and you start typing sex on the Pornhub search bar, it will autofill and suggest sex dick as the first thing, and so they click it, right? Why it got to that point in the first place, I couldn't tell you.
That means people want to be seeing the penis in the video. They're not having any qualms about that. That's part of their search.
Nothing wrong with the penis, but Buster, let me ask you a question. Instead of searching porn, how would you instead like to eat a big old serving of bear head cheese?
I have no idea where you're going with this.
I'd be surprised if you did. How would you like to eat instead calf's foot jelly or roast a skunk? That doesn't get you hungry? Those things I mentioned?
If this turns into a porn search, I'm going to be even more unsettled.
No, it's even better than that, because these unspeakable foods that I just mentioned are real things that the pioneers of the American West survived on back in the day. And in our newest bonus episode on Tennis Pod Plus, me and Stephen Clark discussed the top 10 worst foods that the American West pioneers had to eat to survive on.
I think they also had to survive on some sex dick out there.
Some sex dick and eating their children. But one and the same, you might say. But if you want to listen to this and about 70 other exclusive bonus episodes, go to tennispod.com/PLUS, or you can go to the Apple Podcast app and click the Try Free button at the top for a free 7-day trial. You can also listen to Dr. Buster's exclusive book review podcast, The Book Buster, of which he owes me a few episodes. You can get it all, 7-day trial, tennispod.com/plus.
Give me some hints. I think I'm struggling a bit.
How about describing a type of person? Perhaps their nationality, perhaps where they're from, like ethnicity.
Asian.
Where do you think Asian ranks in the top 15?
4.
7. Have you ever looked at porn before? Jesus Christ. Asian's number 7. Then there's more nationalities on here. So what's another very, very similar to Asian, you might say? It's in Asia.
Japanese?
Japanese is number
11.
4.
Wow, Japanese is higher than Asian.
Yeah, and what's interesting is in Japan, it's the number one search term. So Japanese people are searching for their own type. It's interesting just because American people would never search
Right.
for American in the search term.
Yeah. Even the most patriotic conservative
Yeah.
person's not opening Pornhub and being like, I only want to see Americans having sex dick with each other. So I'm typing American.
I could see him typing white, but even that doesn't seem super common. But yeah, Japanese is number one in Japan. And for men in particular, this is the number one search term in all of the world.
Wow.
Japanese.
Wow.
People
Number
love
one
their
search
Japanese.
term for men.
The Japanese are also known for a certain type of entertainment or art form.
Sumo?
It's a type of content.
Oh, hentai.
Yeah. Well, there's two things you could have said. Hentai is one of them. Hentai is a style of Japanese pornographic anime and manga. This was number one in 2022. What number do you think it is in 2023?
Whoa. 5?
One. It's number one for the second year in a row. Hentai. At number
Hentai
one.
is number 1.
It's not for me, but I know it's extremely popular, so it's not super surprising. I guess I'm surprised it's above things like Milf and Lesbian, but
Yeah. It means the most common search on Pornhub is people wanting to see cartoon characters fucking each other.
yes. And on that note, what type of
Crazy.
cartoon characters do you think they're searching for most? This is a separate list now, the most searched for movies and characters in porn.
Oh, God. This is not going to be good, is it? Video game characters are probably up there, right? People who get attached or attracted to video game characters.
This is movies and TV characters specifically. I have a separate list of
Oh.
video games.
I don't even
Come on.
want to guess. No, don't make me do it.
All right, I'll tell
I
you.
don't.
Number one, let's go backwards. I have the top
No,
four. Number
please.
4 is the worst one. Avatar. Someone's searching Avatar porn.
Okay, that's not as bad to me. That doesn't give me the
It's a
creepies.
fucking blue alien. I don't know. That's not even a human. The rest are at least well, number 1's not. All right, number 4 is Avatar. Number 3 is Game of Thrones. That one makes sense because there's so much sex in that show anyway. Number 2 is a comic book character.
Black Widow,
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Okay.
Number 1 is Star Wars.
Okay. Woo. We did not have to go down the road I was hoping we didn't have to go
What
down.
were you thinking?
Okay.
Like Family Guy or something? The Simpsons?
Disney characters.
Oh, for sure. That's
And that's like,
probably on here. Yeah.
and that's awful because, yeah, for obvious reasons.
I don't like it just because, look, to each their own again, but it's weird to me to sit and watch with your children like a Disney princess, and then when your kids go to bed, you jack off to that
I
character.
know. It's just like, oh, God.
And, I don't know. And by the way, when you're looking at Gen Z, which is ages 18 through 24, the number one search term in all of Pornhub is cosplay. So they're very into this sort of cosplay, hentai,
Yeah.
and
Very into
another
their
word
fictional
too,
characters.
anime is number 11, by the way.
Anime is number 11. Wow. Okay. So people are really getting into fictional characters now and love to watch them have sex with each other.
Video game characters, number 4 is Pokemon. Number 3 is Minecraft, which I don't get. Have you ever seen a Minecraft character?
Yeah.
What
You
makes
know what
you
I
look
like
at that
better
b-
than watching people have sex? I like watching people have sex who are made of 25 different bits. So you don't even know which one's the leg and which one's the penis. Like,
I
is
think
that
you
a
could find
hammer or a
penis.
dick? I don't even know because they're all just made of blocks.
It's just, you can't make it make sense to me. I'm sorry. Number 2 is Overwatch. Number 1, Fortnite. All right, let me give you a quick recap of where we are in the top 15.
When I was in middle school and high school, I had these series of fighting games called Soul Calibur, and the body build that they gave, well, both to be fair, men and women in those games is hyper unrealistic, and the women characters on those games were hypersexualized. And I remember being a young man and thinking, God damn.
Being a young man. Those people having sex is on Pornhub right now that someone has animated for you if you'd like to revisit.
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure those characters from Soul Calibur are all over Pornhub.
Okay, so you're missing number 15. 14 is massage. You're missing 13. 12 is threesome. 11 is anime. 10 is stepmom. 9 is big ass. You're missing 8. 7 is Asian. 6 is anal or anal. 5 you're missing. 4 is Japanese. 3 is lesbian. 2 is MILF. 1 is hentai. So I think you just need 5, 8, 13, and 15. And there's more nationalities on here if you need a hint.
Okay, other nationalities.
Or ethnicities, whatever you want to call it.
Sure, Hispanic.
Very close. Ebony is number 13. You just need 3 more, and 2 of those 3 are more ethnicities. Hispanic, you said.
Okay, Latina.
Latina. We love our Latina listeners, and people love Latinas on Pornhub. Buster,
Okay.
what day of the week would you guess is the most popular day to visit Pornhub? The most popular day is Monday, correct. People are needing that start of the week pick-me-up, I guess.
I think most people have not been able to masturbate all weekend because they've been around their significant other, or they did have a sexual encounter over the weekend with their significant other. Monday, people are back at work, and they're like, time to clock in.
What percentage of men, and give me a serious guess, what percentage of men would you guess have at least once masturbated while at work? Not working from home, like in an office. Of all the people that work in offices, what percentage of men have masturbated at work at least one time? It could include the bathroom at the office.
20%. 1 in
20,
5.
I'd put it more like 40 or 50%.
Really? You think half?
We just talked earlier how often people are looking at porn on their work computers. There's bathrooms at the office that people need to go relieve. Remember in Wolf of Wall Street when Matthew McConaughey is telling Leo to
that's true.
up those numbers?
Yeah.
Go crank
that's
one out
true.
in the bathroom? I'm just guessing. I never have.
I can't think of a place that's harder for me to get in the zone and mood to be sexually aroused than in a public bathroom. When I can hear someone next to me spackling up the toilet.
Just search for sex dick and it'll get you in the mood real quick. Or big ass cop.
I got Frank next to me shitting out his breakfast burrito he had from Taco Bell. And I'm sitting here trying to search sex dick on my phone.
Hey, it'll get you going. If it's a
Oh,
Monday,
God.
it'll get you going. And around 11 p.m., by the way, is when traffic peaks on Pornhub.
11 p.m.?
11 p.m. So, which
Oh,
goes
wow.
against the office thing. So these are people at
Yeah,
home.
it's people right before bedtime. Or they can't sleep.
Well, they can't sleep. And their significant other has already told them, not tonight, honey. I'm tired.
And they want to see a big-ass cop.
Buster, what sporting event has just happened in America that might be top of mind for some of our listeners?
Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. Did you know that holidays and events such as the Super Bowl have a direct impact on Pornhub traffic? For example, during the Super Bowl last year, like the hours that the Super Bowl was on, the number one search was naked football.
Naked football.
And wait, the one right after that is football team gangbang.
Oh my God.
So people are sitting with their family watching the Super Bowl and something hits them, maybe a commercial they see for GoDaddy or something, and it gets them in the mood and they say, honey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go check on the hot dogs. And you go stop at the bathroom and do a search for a football team gangbang, and you crank one out in less than 11 minutes.
Too much of the slow motion, seeing those defensive linemen rough up other men and just with those two super tight spandex pants.
Oh,
and they're
baby.
like, you know what? I want to see that whole defensive line run train, not on an opposing football team, but on an unsuspecting individual.
An unsuspecting individual who didn't know how much they wanted to be gangbanged until the opportunity presented itself, and then they're ready to open
honey,
for
yeah, the
business.
kids are already sleeping. I have to go up and check on them. Jim, this is the 4th time during the game. Yeah, I really want to check and make sure they're staying asleep.
I don't get it. But
Let me go search naked football on my Pornhub.
I got breaking news for you, fam. Every football's already naked. Unless you think they mean people playing football, which might be the case. But the football itself, it's
football's
already
not
naked.
wearing clothes. It's already
Yeah.
naked.
You just need 2 more in the top 15.
Do they have anything in common?
No. Number 15 is, how do you describe it? It's a type of dessert, perhaps, you might say.
A type of dessert?
I mean, not one you'd want to eat.
Oh, cream pie.
Cream pie.
Oh.
Just the name, kind of.
Yeah.
The name.
Yeah.
Buster, I bring on special expert sidekick host for this in particular. Why don't you tell the folks at home? What is a cream pie? I've been doing a lot of talking today.
I think it's a pie made of cream. They just, it's like the type of pie you take right in the face, like a circus clown would in a cartoon. Yep, just a bunch of shaving cream, and you get pied in the face.
Any listeners out there that aren't sure what a cream pie is and like to know, just do a quick search and you'll find out real quick.
If you want to know what a cream pie is, yeah. And if you do know, then you don't have to have us explain it to you, so.
No, you're very comfortable with the cream pie.
Nick, how many times have you searched cream pie in the last month?
I keep searching cream pie on my recipe app, and I keep getting these naked people fucking. I don't understand.
I'm trying to make a dessert.
Buster, before you guess the last item on the list, I want to do what I did on the last Pornhub episode, which is tell you the most common comments on a Pornhub video.
Oh, here we go. This is where I think Brandon busted out his impersonation.
Yeah, this is the caveman impersonation. Now, Pornhub, like YouTube or most other video based websites has a comment section. And it's a special kind of person that goes out of the way to comment.
They should not have a comment section on Pornhub.
What helpful
They're not
context.
They're not breaking any new scientific ground in there. They are not pushing forward the research on cancer. There's no world peace.
They're not
in those comments.
They're not having debates, lively debates or discussion.
No one's going there to learn anything.
Number 5, the 5th most common word seen on Pornhub comments: ass.
Damn, I searched big ass, but I wasn't in store for that ass. Let me tell you.
It's nice ass, big ass, hot ass, love that ass, or just ass. Any variation of phrase that includes the word ass.
Oh my God.
Number 5.
Who watches the video, they're done, they scroll down, and they see the comment box, they do the work of getting the keyboard up, and they just type one word, no punctuation, probably not even capitalized, ass.
You got to create an account, sign in.
Like, oh, thank you, sir. I watched that whole 20-minute video. I didn't see an ass once. Thank you for alerting me that there was indeed an ass in there.
Look, and if you're listening right now and you've commented on Pornhub, more power to you, but I don't get you. I don't understand.
Let us know
Number 4.
on the Tennis Pod socials what comments you've left on Pornhub.
The links to all of our socials are in the show notes. It's at Tennis Pod. Please go there and let me know why and what you've posted in the Pornhub
and what your
comments.
favorite videos are. As if I need to know whether you think it's nice or not. Jesus Christ. The comment,
Buster's shaking his head.
The same could be said on a YouTube channel. I don't need you
But
to.
at least
I don't
on
need you
YouTube,
to comment on a sports video. Nice. That's no
YouTube
value.
video. Now, we'll agree. The comments on a YouTube video are mostly trash, but they're intended at least to get you could watch a video on the history of the universe by Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? You could comment on that with oh, did you also know that Venus fucking weighs this much or whatever?
That's not people who log into YouTube and type nice with no period.
I agree.
You know?
I agree with that.
We're talking about a different type of person. I agree with you.
I think you'll change your mind on number 3. I think you'll change your mind on number 3. Because number 3, I think, is a little more intelligent, a little more thoughtful, a little more conversation generating.
Yeah.
Fuck that ass is nice.
I'm just so shook by it. They have to go down and exclaim, fuck.
No, I would put money on it that 90% of it is I'd fuck her so hard. Or I wish she'd fuck me. But number 2, hot.
Smoking.
So hot. Smoking hot. But number 1. And they might mean, man, I'd love to fuck you, but they might also mean has anyone shown her love today?
No, I loved that.
Well, I love that acting. Great acting in that video. I
loved the cream pie.
Loved the storyline. Loved the story development. I didn't see that twist coming at the end. Love it.
Love it.
Pornhub reports that 67% of comments have positive sentiment, which means 33% have negative sentiment. That's a high percentage of negativity on a porn website.
As if Pornhub's gonna do anything if you're like, yeah, production value wasn't very good. I mean, I still got off to it, but I really thought the angles could have been better, and you all definitely could have put in a better story.
Please fire your boom mic guy. Have you ever thought about a professionally done porn video? There's a whole crew of people in that room.
Yes,
while
there are lots of people behind the camera, and the director's taking
holding
it very seriously. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's people with rags cleaning up the jizz and the ass sweat and all
the director.
And they take it very seriously.
As they should.
Income.
They should take it. I mean, porn is a real industry with real people in it, and they should be taken care of and not manipulated or done with a shitty job with. It should be as any video production is. But I think a lot of it's amateur, not great situation to be in that room.
Yes.
Should be. I don't think it is. You just need number 5 on the top 15 now.
Okay.
And you'll never get it. So I'm just going to tell you it. It's number 5 is Pinay, which I looked it up. It means a woman of Filipino origin or descent.
Okay.
And it is number 1 in several countries, including the Philippines. So much like Japan is searching for Japanese, the Philippine people are searching for their own women at number 5. So they're very patriotic, the Filipino.
They know what they want, and they're going after it.
So, Buster, I'm going to go back through the top 15, and I want you to tell me at the end, which of these have you personally sought out the most today before we record?
All of
them. Because I
them.
know you've probably been on Pornhub several times.
I've typed in all 15 of these already today.
Okay, number 15, the worldwide most searched for term on Pornhub in 2023. 15 is cream pie. Makes me hungry for some bearhead cheese, maybe. 14 is massage. 13 is Ebony. 12 is Threesome. 11 is Anime. 10 is StepMom. 9 is Big Ass. Not to be confused with the number one term in Washington, D.C., which is Big Ass Cop. Number 8 is Latina. Number 7 is Asian. Number 6 is Anal, or Anal. Number 5 is Pinay. Number 4 is Japanese. Number 3 is Lesbian. Number 2 is Milf. And number 1, for the second year in a row, Hentai. Buster's over here yawning while I go through the top 15, as if this wasn't the best topic I've ever brought him.
I'm getting some inspiration looking at this list.
Yeah.
I want to be an inclusive individual. I don't want to leave anybody out.
No, of course not. Well, yeah, the nationalities are very well represented here on this list.
No, nobody's typing Canadian.
Well, why would they? Ugh. And don't forget, we're also being inclusive. The boomers who are actively voting against trans rights. Their number 2 search term on Pornhub is transgender. So, and folks listening, if this is interesting to you, one, I direct you back to episode 107 where we did a previous year's version of this list with Brandon. But also in the show notes, I'll put a link to the full report from Pornhub. It goes so in depth. We barely scratch the surface. It's truly incredible how much they share. And maybe we'll do this again in a future year. I usually bring interesting lists. And I wish you could guess better than like an alien coming to Earth and guessing human porn
if you
searches
want
for the
me to
first
guess
time.
better, you should just stop inviting me back on the show because I don't think my
Mm.
list guessing skills are increasing with age.
Well, that's an idea. Stop inviting you on the show. I never thought of that. All right, Buster. I'd like to remind the listeners that new Tennis Pod Plus bonus episode about disgusting shit the American West pioneers ate is available now at tennispod.com/plus. I'd also like to remind you that when you sign up for Tennis Pod Plus, you'll get next week's episode 254. You'll get it early before anyone else, and it'll also be ad-free. Buster, is there anything you'd like to say before we end the show?
Nope.
All right. He's Buster. I'm Nick. This episode today is brought to you by Pornhub. Goodbye.
Bye.